All right. Hello, everyone, and yes, welcome to the wrap up uh, live, which we will still be doing sprints tonight, but we're going to start with the points and everything. So anyone who doesn't care to do sprints can have that. But then I still want to finish one more book tonight because, I mean, even though I'm the person who came up with the points, I still got a legacy to maintain here. So we're going to do sprints afterwards if anyone wants to stay to do that. But lovely Helen, again, is a trooper and is up at indecent hours for us to be here. And yeah, we have some health issues for some friends. We'll leave that to them to explain. And then while I'm doing sprints, though, Jess may join us later. But for now, it's just the two of us. So everybody say hello. How about you start? Tell us what your favorite book was, and we'll wait just about 5 minutes so people can join us. And then we will do that. I have it set up to share the screen, and hopefully I go in the right order so I don't like spoil this. But I was playing around with it before Helen got in here. But hello, friends, welcome. Wait, maybe we can do this. That's better. Let's do that for now. Because I was like, people don't need to see my junky couch or over. Hey, girl. Let's see. You're working on pre-2020 fairy tale. Great.
Amazing.
Yeah, and wherever you are, you keep reading until midnight. In general, if you're on your last book, finish your last book. It's all right. This is all for fun. And especially once I show you the points, if your points are going to bump you up a level, keep reading, man. Helen, which was your favorite book?
Definitely The Hermit, Michelle Hurd.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I started with. I did it as an audiobook as well, and it was a really good audiobook. But I really liked that one. It was really sweet. I mean, I think you were talking about it yesterday where Michelle Hurd, she kind of like, it's easy, right? It's kind of like the heroine in that one went through a bit of trauma, but then it kind of was easily glossed over. And then she's like, he only has to walk around a couple of days without his top on. And she's like, yeah, you know, let's go for it. But there's something really sweet about her romances. I just really enjoyed it. So definitely that one.
Yeah. It absolutely. And I've read many of hers at this point, and that is kind of her formula. And I just accept it more, though, as that formula. You know, like there are other Mafia authors that if they did the same things, I wouldn't let them off the hook because that's not the tone that they set. Their tone is that there's heavy shit happening and you must answer for it. And so if they skip any of that work, I'm like, well, you skipped it. So this doesn't work, you know? But with Michelle Hurd, it's like, you know, the book is only this long, you know, it's going to go fast. And also her heroes are just so completely in love the whole time that like, why wouldn't you completely be in on it? Yeah. Like, I mean, for real, especially Santiago in the one I just read, like literally the perfect man. He's the perfect man. He rescues people from slavery and he's created a paradise for them. Like, of course you'll love him.
But I loved him anyway in The Hermit because I didn't even know that about him. But his personality is so good, and he really tries to win Dominic over. And Dominic's like, I don't like people. He's like, we're going to be best friends.
Yeah. And the tarot card setup is totally Santiago who's the one doing it. Like, I've forgotten about that, but like he's the one who kind of like names everyone. And he does how he kills people is they pick a tarot card and that's what will happen to you, which is really, I like it a lot. But I'm reading King of Obsession by Bianca Borelli. Love it. Lindsay, not gonna lie, I didn't do very well, but you're rereading Nero. I know I like that one. Hey, sometimes when you try it out, it don't work. So I totally get it. Your favorite was Twisted Vows by Bianca Cole. It had twists and turns that shocked me. Love it. Yeah, well, Helen will be pleased to hear my favorite was your pick.
Oh, good, good. Did you like it?
Of course, it was wonderful. That is my favorite. I mean, I am still reading the Lilith Vincent, but even if that one is a 5-star, it won't be the same as that one was, because yeah, it's just so different. And I think you were still on when I said this last night. Maybe you weren't. No, because it was on Kyan's live, and you were going to bed then. But I said this may be her most recent release, but her style of writing is still like it used to be. In there, she tries to build much more in the Mafia world than just the normal tropes that you'd see. So that like Albanian Mafia and the mythology and all the stuff that had to go around it, that was a proper suspense story as well as a Mafia romance. And that's what they used to be like. That's what they used to be like, you know? So I think that's why it just worked for me so well.
Yeah.
Excuse me, because she just didn't do the normal things that people would do. And there's nothing wrong with those things. Again, we have a whole readathon for Mafia authors to do just the tropey things we love them to do. But it was really a fun time. Glad you enjoyed that one. Yes, I did. It was great.
Yeah. That's what I loved about it too. When I read it, like I said before, I kind of just got it through Zoe Blake's ARC group. She sort of said, who wants to pick this up? And I was like, yeah, sure. Went in with it completely blind, had never read anything from that author before. And it it was just so unique and different. Like I'd never read an Albanian Mafia before. Like you say, I like the kind of like the, not the myth, but you know, the whole customs thing that was around it. Which I was like, well, this is really interesting. And then using it as a really strong plot device as well within the story, that I was like, this, you know, I thought it was really well done. I liked it. Yeah.
Hold on a second. This is cute. Jen, did you see that Protected is coming out on audio on June 2nd? Yes, my love, I did. Just a reminder that I work for her, so I helped make it be ready. So I hope you all love that it's coming out on audio. Yeah, pretty much all of her upcoming books. Yeah, no, it's okay. I am very excited. So thanks for promoting my gal here by bringing it up. So I love that. Yes, Protected is coming. I'm working on something for her right now, actually. Never read anything by him. Okay, I'll come back to this. Sorry, I was engaging with these real quick. Yes, it will be so good. Podium is doing all of her Kindled books now, which is fantastic because in the beginning they'd only done she'd self-done the first book, and then the first 3 were done, but they're going to be doing all the rest of them. So that's fantastic. But no, I'm working on a project for her right now, actually, and it's going to be fun. She's a hard woman to get info out of some days, not because she won't tell me anything I want to know. Like, she'll tell me anything I want to know. But when I'm trying to do like definitive answers to questions, she's like, oh, I don't write any of that down. And I'm like, well, I need you to write it down so that I can do this project I'm trying to do. I need you to, if you haven't decided this answer, I need you to pick an answer so that I can do something. So she keeps it all in her head. She doesn't have any stuff written down at all about, well, besides the words on the page, I mean. But I mean, like, the timeline and the genealogy is what I'm working on. I'm working on a genealogy thing. And she's like, oh, yeah, I just threw that in there. And I'm like, well, can we lock it down so that I can make things for it? But I love Protected. That would be fun. Yes, very excited. Okay, back to this one. I'd never read anything by Annika Martin. Yep, she is a good one. I have had the other books on the series on my TBR, her old series, but they never were put on audio. So I hope that she does her OG series on audio, because it's just, I gotta say, it's an impediment to read the book physically. I just don't have the time. I need, and I have all those books signed from her, but I need them to be on audio. So hopefully, if she keeps writing newer ones, they'll go back and do the old ones again. Dark Mafia Prince and those ones like that. But okay, we're all here for the points, and I'm just yakking about other stuff. So let's go ahead and do that, and then see if it'll do this here. Hold on. Oh, good. Okay, phew, almost fell with it. Okay. Oop. Okay, is it showing this?
I can see your download file.
Oh, okay, that's the wrong page then.
Yeah, so I think it's just like the Google Drive.
There we go. Okay,
okay. Yeah, I've got the image that's coming up now.
Okay, so here is that. Hold on. I need to make this smaller so that I can control what I'm doing. Okay, and if I do this right, I think if I go to the left. Okay, so I'm going to go through these. So for the Enforcer level, to basically if you read anything, if you finished anything, hopefully you made it to this. So lowest level here. Okay, the Capo level is from 16 points to 24 points. The Underboss level is 25 to 34 points. So as you're watching, go ahead and throw up what you ended up getting to so we can chat about that. Consigliere, or second in command this time, is 35 to 40 points. And the Donna is anything over 40 points. So, leave that up for a second. So, how did everybody do? I'm currently sitting at, wow, I can't read it once, an underboss right now myself. So, hoping this last one will put me up to Consigliere, but I don't think I'll make it to Capo myself this time around. So
I'm the same. I'm currently sitting at 31 points, but I'm like 40 minutes from finishing my audiobook.
So you didn't finish it yet? Okay.
I can literally squeeze it in.
Well, you can finish it, like I said.
Points. That will only take me to 33 points. I mean, technically, this is the thing. I didn't count. So for the Hermit, I didn't count that as Irish because she's actually part of an Irish Mafia family, right?
Oh,
and I didn't tick that box to say she was Irish. I felt like I could have, but then I was like, well, there wasn't a lot of content to it. But it would have got me then.
So I answered this. Okay, you were asleep. I answered this for Kyan last night. Because the way she said it is there was just Bratva in her book, but it wasn't the character. It's who the hero and the heroine are, is what counts. So that one is Irish and just whatever, right? Because
he's not Slovakian, isn't he?
Yeah. So whereas like her example was if it was just in there, does it count? And I said no, it needs to be the well, and it doesn't need to be hero and heroine. The couple that is the main couple or the throuple. I guess it could be all three if it's one of the if it is the menage and they're each from a different one, you can count all three. So I mean, you absolutely can count that because I literally just did in the book that I just read, which is her sister. So you absolutely can fill that in afterwards. That's not anyone being sneaky or anything. That is how I have it to be set up. Like just because their mafia isn't the ruling type, it doesn't mean it wasn't significant. Like she's from that family. It's supposed to be an arranged marriage between the families. Like it is. So
I know it was just like I was like, shall I count it? Shall I not count it? At the time I didn't, and now I think, oh, maybe I'll go back and count it. But that then also give me an additional bingo. So that would be Consigliere then. So I might go back and adjust.
Absolutely do it. Okay, let me see what people are saying before. I know, I don't think that she is watching right now, but one of our viewers got up to 58, which means she almost maxed out because what is it? I think 64 is the max for this. So she must have read like all of the main books or something. So I'll have to double check her board. She tagged me in it, but let's see. Woohoo! Well, way to go.
Yeah, you well
did
done.
it. I think I made it to Capo. I didn't add it all up, but I made a bingo. Yeah. I mean, if you made a bingo, you're at least in an enforcer, but that's not even counting everything else. So I got Capo, but only finished 2 books. Hey, there you go. It's a pretty steep curve is how I did it this time. So just some thought on it. Last time to get to the top, you needed 46 and up was the Donna. And we did it for 10 days. So I was like, I wanted to shave it down because I'm like, of course, I'm not going to expect everyone to get to 46 points out of, it's either 64 or 68 available. I don't remember right now. But I also was like, but I still want it to be a bit of a challenge because that's the fun part of it. And, if you max out the bingo board, which a lot of people usually try to do that, you're already halfway up there. So I don't know. Whoa, Kim made it too. 52. There we go. Also, to be honest, Helen, it's easier for other people than us because we've read usually a lot of the rec picks. I only hadn't read yours and Amber's choices. So that's also why when you were picking, I was like, yes, please pick a book I haven't heard of before. Because otherwise I'm like us as the host, we need options to get ones too.
Definitely.
The one year I had read everyone's book, I think. Was it last year? I think last year I'd read everyone's book. So I went for, but there was 3-pointer options and other stuff last time. But okay, let me take that back down now so our faces are bigger. But yeah, so it was a challenge. Last year too, I think because it was 10 days, pretty much everybody could make it to the top, which is fun. I want everyone to be there, but I'm also realistically, we can't all be the Donna or we're going to have a bloodbath here. So, yay to all of us. Some more people who joined because some more people have popped in now. What was your favorite read? We'll try to keep Helen another 5 minutes here. And then like I said, you can still read and get there, by the way. If you're in the middle of a book and you haven't finished yet, you have until midnight your time, or as I just said, you can finish whatever book you're on. Again, there's no real rules to this. This is just for fun. So definitely finish up whatever you're doing and tag us in it tomorrow or the next day, and we'll still share it and everything. I think it might have been a bad idea to join the Ever After-thon and the Mafia Readathon. Well, I mean, we're doing both. I think Amber was too. So I picked the spy purposely. And by the way, I counted the call girl as a spy in my points board because she was spying undercover reluctantly for a little bit there. But I picked the spy since I was a co-host for that because it had Assassin, Enemies to Lovers, and Rendezvous Tryst, which all of the books that I read for my readathon had at least one of those in there. And for sure they had other people's tropes in there, but for my own trope, they were all in there. So the one I'm reading right now is an Assassin too. So let's see. Helen, the pre-2020 fairy tale telling you bountiful. Oh, nice.
Yes, I've read that one. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, this is super fun. Thank you to everybody who, let me see if there we go. Thank you to everybody who participated this year. I love doing this. I know this one was a bit shorter, but I think that ended up being good because I will not air out anyone's life, but there was still disasters happening to people the whole weekend, I feel like. So the Mafia curse here is definitely only for the bravest who are willing to deal with it, because there are a few of my co-hosts who just had life happening. And Helen's always traveling and is 7 hours ahead, so she's just.
Yeah, it's.
I hope you get some sleep the next couple days.
I'll try. Yeah, definitely. No, it's
Yeah.
good. It's good to keep me up. But also, I probably would have stayed up anyway,
Yeah.
just because, like I said, I finished the Bianca Burrell earlier, and then I've hardly got anything left of my audiobooks. I was like, I would have stayed up anyway to finish it. I was like, I need to push on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get my
Well,
points
if
in.
you need to go to bed and finish it tomorrow morning, you have permission to do that, to count everything up, because you've definitely put in the hours for us.
Thank you. No, I'm so close to the end now. I can't anyway, but yeah.
Love it. Okay. Well, for that being said, and yes, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers watching. If you popped in here on a Mother's Day, I appreciate you. For those of you who did that, you're wonderful. But yeah, I'll let Helen go if she wants. Like I said, I'm going to do a couple sprints now, because I'm reading Cruel Savior by Lilith Vincent is what I'll be reading. And you guys are free to put in the comments if you're still reading one or anything. But we'll do that. And hopefully Jess will be home by the time we're done with this sprint, and she'll join me to talk on the other side of it. But thank you, Helen, so much.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone. Enjoy
night.
the rest of the readathon. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye. Oops. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do a 50-minute sprint right now. And Jess was actually traveling home from a brunch event herself. But like I said, okay, I should talk about it a minute though. I'm reading Cruel Savior by Lilith Vincent, which has been on my TBR since it came out. The next book in the series actually already came out, and I want to read that one too. But this one, the couple in this one was actually supposed to have an arranged marriage, but the father of the girl used that as an opportunity to massacre his rival. So he pulled a red wedding on them instead. But the man that she was supposed to marry, he wasn't at the party yet. So his whole family was slaughtered, but he wasn't. And now he's demanding to still marry the girl anyway, though he wants revenge now against her father. So that's like the setup for it. Yes, Lindsay, I do love her. I love her a lot. So that's what I will be reading. And I will hopefully chat with you guys on the other side. And see you in 50 minutes. Alrighty then. How was that for everybody? How's everybody's books going? I, just as a refresher in case anyone's new here, I am reading uh, Cruel Savior by Lilith Vincent, and I am liking it a lot, though it did not go the way that I thought it would be. Pretty good. I never get over Nero's antics. Yeah, that's a great series. I love her books. What's everybody else up to? No no co-host yet. Everybody's kind of worn out today. I know Kyan's power is out. Jess is traveling home from brunch. Helen is sleeping and Amber isn't here, but Stitched with Hope. You're reading book 8. Oh my gosh. That is fantastic. Oh, I wish I could have got through that many. Although I will be getting through, oops, did that stitch wrong. We'll be getting through 4, which is good. I mean, that's one every day, which is what my pace has normally been lately. Made it to Donna with 86 points. I don't think you actually can get to 86 points, so that's amazing. I'm like, wait, what are my point caps? Oh, that's wrong. You're right. 91? Dude, you almost maxed it out. I didn't even think there was that many points available. That is insane. I think you might be like the Donna of the Donnas is right there. I was like, can I even get that many points? You made me question my own readathon. I'm like, what? You're fantastic. That is crazy. So you read everybody's picks then. Is that what that means? Or maybe all of them? Anyway, I'm just so impressed. By the way, I'm sorry. I'm stunned by that because I feel like that means you had to have read every one of our host picks for you. That's so cool. Way to go. I mean, that's the question. Can anybody top 86 points? Jeez. Way to go. Love it. Ah, fantastic. 8 in 4 days. Yeah. Way to go. Mm-hmm. I'm super impressed, man. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Man, I miss those days when I could read that much or get in a good flow of things. I fully admit I got distracted by a lot of other stuff. I was watching some Outlander recaps last night and I got distracted for a bit and then I got distracted by my game. Okay. I was going to say, if I multiply my books, I because I was going to say, I was like, if you said you got to 86, that's only 5 shy of it. So you didn't read Mafia Mistress. I love that. Did you say earlier which was your favorite, Hope? I don't know if you did. So I asked at the beginning what everybody's favorites were. Which one of those was your favorite pick, if you don't mind me asking? Because I've read them all, but I've read them all, but the Bianca, I forgot her last name too. But anyway. Let me think. What else to touch on? Anybody else popping in? Just trying to see if I mean, I'm going to do another, we're going to do one more 50-minute sprint for sure. I read, I'm at literally halfway through my book, but I've read 50 pages this afternoon because no, more than that. I read 70 pages this afternoon because I read 70 before I went to bed, and now I'm at 145. So I've read another 70 pages. And this one's only 300 pages, so I definitely will finish it tonight. I think this one is just Italian Mafia because I haven't seen Cosa Nostra mentioned yet. So, and it's 2 Italian families. So this one's going to hit rival families, arranged marriage, and Italian Mafia for me. So that should give me a couple more bingos, and then we'll see where I end up. Hey, Kim. Hey. Your fave was Unholy Vows, plus it gave you a lot of points. Yes, that one is worth a lot. Currently reading his Empress. Great one. King of Obsession and his Tesoro were probably at the top, but it was hard to choose. That's good because I do still. Oh, sorry, my booty is falling asleep, so I gotta move around a little bit. Sitting on the floor for so much. Getting old. No, I'm just kidding. Not really. I do still want to read Amber's pick. I just knew I needed to pick one or the other to get through. So it's good to hear that you like that one because I want to still get to it. But his Tesoro was so good. Oops, they keep moving. Here we go. Wrong Bride, Right Capo by Valencia Rose was my biggest surprise. I didn't know what to think going in. That's cool. And then I finished Beautiful Torment by A. Zavarelli. Loved it. Yeah, that's such a great throwback one, right? Is that one before 2020? I think that one's before 2020, right? Is that a before 2020 read? I didn't end up getting to my before 2020 read or less than 1,000 on Goodreads. Or is this the one that's for that? I need to check now, actually. I think that I put this one down as my less than 1,000 because when I put it on my TBR, it had less than 1,000 ratings, but it has more than 1,000 ratings now. So I don't know if I'll count it or not. I'll see when I add up my points if it makes a difference if I count it as that one. And if it makes a difference, I might count it. Because when I made my TBR, this one had less than 1,000 ratings. But I made my TBR 2 weeks ago. And since this one was a new release, it now has more than 1,000 ratings. So we'll see. If it doesn't make a difference, I won't count it because there's no reason to stretch it. But if it's going to be the difference between a consigliere and a capo, I'm going to put it in there. So that one came out last year, Jen. Heard about Brimhell. Beautiful Torment? Oh, yeah. A. Zavarelli has been writing for a very long time, like a long time in Mafia, so that's why I was confused. Apologies. I'm thinking of, I can picture it in my head. There's one of her books that is a Mafia that is that old. But as soon as you said that, I remembered. Thank you for the reminder there. Yep. Yeah, the one I had for my older than 2020 was Stolen by J. Marie. So on my TBR, I didn't get to Stolen, nor did I get to the Jagger Cole. But here's the thing, if you watched my video on that, I was either going to read my fanfic or the Jagger Cole because they hit the same prompts. They hit the LGBTQ prompt. And as soon as I was reading the fanfic, which was also, that one was like 420 pages on my Kindle. And the Jagger Cole, which doesn't have an audiobook, is, I think, over 500 pages. So I was like, I'm going to do one or the other because I have to read that one with my eyeballs And I don't think that I could do both of them, you know? I didn't think I could get through both of them. So that is why I didn't get to the Jagger Cole. But I will have gotten to 4 out of the 6, and I was only planning to read 5 of them anyway. So I did pretty good. You guys are talking back and forth. Yours from before 2020 was Obsession Mind by Anna Zares. Classic, classic. I think next year I'm gonna bump that up because in 2027, I'll go 5 years back, so it'll be before 2022, and I think that's gonna open a lot of books for people. Because the point when I first made that prompt, I believe it was in 2025, and so it was supposed to just be 5 years back, and we've had that prompt for 2 years now. And it's just getting harder to have read ones that are that old. So I think next year I will change that prompt to before the year 2022. And then hopefully that will open up a lot more books for people as well, for ones you can read as a throwback pick. I also have a question. I meant to ask some of these questions when Helen was on, but I didn't want to keep her up all night. Hold on, let me see what this says. Oh, nope. Nope. Just waiting to see if one of the girls messaged me. Did you guys find it? Oops, it's gonna turn off. Yes, yes, yes. That's the timer telling me it's time to do another sprint, but I paused that because I want to talk for another minute and then I will do it. So let me finish my thought. Did you think it was really difficult to find the less than 1,000 ratings? Because it was really difficult for me. I either had to go with, as you can see, I picked a book that had just come out, and by the time I'm reading it, it already has more than 1,000 ratings. So next year, should we maybe bump that up a little bit and say less than 2,000 ratings, less than because the point is I do want it to be difficult. I don't just want to say less than 10,000 ratings or whatever. I still want it to be about finding a book that doesn't have a lot of attention. But should I do it less than 1,500, less than 2,000? Like, do any of you guys have a thought on that? I'll ask my other hosts as well when I do a little recap with them, but just wondering what you thought. Okay, let me go through a few of these. I read Beast by Misha Stone. Great choice. Correction earlier, I was mixing up Mafia Daddies. Okay, Bianca Cole has her Mafia Daddy, and Jane Henry's Mafia Daddies are pre-2020, but Jane Henry's is very different. Okay, no worries. There's lots of titles on top of it. It just makes me so sad because I want to love Jagger Cole. I watched an interview with him, and he was a wonderful person. I think it might be his writing style. Love it. Yeah. Well, and I've said I totally get that. Okay, like I read some of his very first things, actually, back when I didn't even know if it was a man or a woman writing. I read some of Jagger Cole's titles. And then I liked that one series with like the Dark Hearts, the Savage Heart, like those ones. Because I read that once for one of the readathons. I think it was 3 years ago at this point that I read one because it was gifted to me. Deviant Hearts? Yeah, Deviant Hearts. And I liked that series, but he's definitely, I have to be in a mood. And he's an author that if you are binging his books, they very quickly get very similar. He does the same kind of sex in each one. He does the same kind of relationship dynamics in each one. It's all very brutal, very hard, very like that, which again is great when you're in the mood for it, right? Like, there are plenty of authors who are just like that. But his are very like uncomfortable, I think, if you're not in the mood. So yeah, I liked the ones I've read, but they started to get too similar, and I just never read another one. So the one I have on my TBR, I only had it on my TBR because it was an MM. I wanted to try one of his Mafia MMs because there's a lot of authors trying to write a Mafia MM now because of how successful Rena Kent's were, and because of, you know, other MM romances being so popular, like Nyla K and C.E. Reese. So I want to try his and see if I like it. But I'm not super interested in his other ones either. But I love that he has like a Yakuza series and stuff like that. Okay, let me read what some of you guys said, and then I'm going to do the final sprint. And then if some of my hosts are able to join me, we'll chat for a little bit. Otherwise, I will end the evening. But let me go through these. So, Jane Henry is one of my favorite authors. The problem is I get a lot of recs from you and other booktubers because books are expensive and I hate blind purchase. Yeah, totally understand. The Goodreads trope was a little hard for me, Jen. Okay, yeah. The rating, how many ratings there is, I think under 2K would be better. I relied on host recs for less than 1,000 rather than Goodreads. Yeah. Since the readathon was so short, I only planned to read the host recs, and I only finished 2 and halfway through the third, so I didn't even go look for tropes. Fair enough. Jen, I started my Jaggerful journey after you recommended Dark Heart series and binged them all in a month. Yeah. I mean, I love the stuff. Rena is the queen of MM Mafia for sure. I mean, definitely good. Thank you. Thank the host for their helpful marathon. Hey, that's the best part, man. That's my favorite thing, is to put all those together. So, okay. Well, and we'll see. And maybe we'll switch that trope out, because since this year, just to share the thought process of this a little bit, you know, I went from having 2 and 3.1s to just doing 2.1s, just to make it easier, because I was like, we'll just make all of these ones 2 points, and then I lowered the point amount you had to get, you know. So that means, though, that I had to get rid of a lot of prompts. I combined those two lists together, got rid of cartel and Yakuza and made it just any other type of mafia, picked some of our favorites. I let the hosts each tell me what their favorite prompts were. And then I picked a few from everybody's favorites and stuff. So there's a few that'll just always be there. Like, I'm always going to keep an LGBTQ one, a neurodivergent or disability rep. Like, I'm always going to have those because I just love those ones. So that's the fun of getting to make the readathon. You get to pick what the heck you want them to be. So, oh yeah, because you didn't even go on Goodreads. No, that makes total sense. And I just don't, the point of that one as it is to get people to look for books that don't have as much love, right? Like, that's the whole point I picked that one. So the other option is to bring back the debut author one. I would maybe switch that out for that. So that can be something people let me know if they want to do that. But anyway, let's do another sprint, like I said, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. Okay? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Excuse me. So sorry. All right, and I will be back in 50 minutes. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Sorry, I'm like 2 hours late.
That is okay. It was kind of early in the day, and then didn't even matter that I did it early because everybody is sick or without power or sleeping. So
I know. I was like, Mom, we gotta hurry up. I need to get to this
no,
time now. So, and of course, she was eating as slow
no.
as humanly possible. And I'm like, this
Oh
is gonna
my
take all
gosh.
night.
Oh my gosh. Don't ever rush your mother. This always ends up being like there's like graduation happening for people or there's Mother's Day. Like, I don't know. But I keep it in May because it's like that's when it is. And I
And I
keep
feel
it
like
there.
May goes with Mafia. Like, they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. That's why I did it. But then there's always something. There's no way to do it for everybody. But um, yeah, hold on. I'm going to answer these and then you can update us on your reading and everything. But someone asked this question here. So Heather was asking me about the Camorra, and I had answered her that it is a type of Italian mafia. Um, okay, so Heather, I didn't realize what you were wanting to use it for. So let me explain a bit more now. Because you can use the Camorra as one of the organized crime that's not Italian. Okay, so here's why. In the same way that the Cosa Nostra is about a specific area in, like, that's the Sicilian mafia, which is a specific part of Italy, the Camorra is also from a specific part of Italy. I thought you were just asking me, like, straight up if it was Italian. And because it isn't the Cosa Nostra, I was like, yeah, you can use it as Italian. But if you're needing to use it for organized crime that isn't Italian, yes, you can because it is separate. Like the Camorra is actually a named entity. I just didn't understand your question. So if that helps you, Heather, if you're still here, sorry, this is 20 minutes later. I'm answering this, but I didn't understand what you meant to use it for. But yes, it's actually super interesting. You guys know me. Here I go on a spiral. It's all super interesting to me. The Camorra was kind of like a clan-based mafia. It was started in the 1800s. It was based out of prisons. Like it would start in, which I know a lot of mafia start in gangs start in prisons, but it was an Italian like prison mafia that was less based on like hierarchy, the way that like a Sicilian mafia is, the Cosa Nostra, which our mafia hierarchy for this event is based off the Sicilian mafia hierarchy, whereas the Camorra was a more rough and tumble. They were like the fighters. They were more about territory than about like hierarchy. So the Camorra is a specific type of Italian mafia. So if you need to use it for an organized kind, you can. Because on the bingo board, the Italian mafia, I mean it to cover any non-specific Italian mafia that people would have, like ones that don't have a name or anything like that. So I hope that helps and isn't more confusing. I just don't make on the bingo board. I didn't want to do Camorra, Cosa Nostra, and Italian as all different options because usually people can roll the Camorra into just the general Italian mafia. But if you're needing it to fit the prompt, the answer is yes, it does because there's no gatekeeping. I'm not trying to gatekeep you from points. So if that's what you need it to hit, please do. Okay. And yes, you're still here. So anyway, hope that long explanation answered your question. Because yeah, the Camorra is separate, which is kind of cool. That one's like the edgy. They're actually Camorra like stands for fighter, I believe, from the research I've done. And it also was like that's why they're considered kind of lowbrow, and the Cosa Nostra was kind of like the uppity version of it. They really tried to stay out of the prisons and everything, whereas Camorra, that's really where they got started, and so they were a lot scrappier and everything. There was something else I wanted to say about Camorra too, but now it went out of my head. But it's kind of cool. I love the history of where all of those start. It basically goes to show organized crime is going to happen anywhere and everywhere. So
I feel like I learned
all
so
right.
much during these live shows. It's great. You're just filled with so much information. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love putting them together because it is funny when we're reading the books. Like, I was just gonna laugh about this because so I'll ask you too, Jess, which one ended up being your favorite? I know you basically read the same series, but mine did end up being Helen's Pick, ended up being my favorite. I finished that last night. And I highly recommend that one. Did you say you grabbed the audio for that one too?
Yeah, I have the audio, and I might actually try to squeeze it in before I do my next read.
It was a quick one. Like, it was so fascinating. I won't talk about it too much again because I know people will read it. But what was funny is, yeah, that one has the Albanian mafia in it. And I hadn't read one where they were like I mean, he's not the good guy, but you get it, where he was the hero. Before, I'd only read it where the Albanians are like the enemy. And the head of the Albanian mafia is called like the Kire is what they call it. And I had never heard that before. I read Helen's book. And then the book I'm reading right now, the enemy in here is the Albanian mafia, and they have a Kire in there. And I sent a picture to Helen. I know I sent a picture to Helen. I know she's sleeping now, but I was like, oh my God. I literally had talked about how I never had heard this mythology about them before. Because there's so much like mafia mythos in that one. Like I think you're gonna like it a lot. It was so cool. And then this one I just read, literally it said, oh yeah, the Albanians call the head of their mafia family the Kire. And I was like, I just learned that. Oh my God, I knew that already.
That's like, what is it in God of Fury? Is it the Pakan's son? Something like that? I see that now so often. And I didn't know it until the Rena Kent series. And now I'm like, oh my God. That's the only one I know. Yeah. The only role.
I heard that one the first time. I think it was in Sophie's, the first time I was like realizing that they had a name. Because the same as a lot of the ones I read, they're the bad guys. For a lot of the ones I was reading before, the Russians were always baddies, and now I've read a lot more of them at this point. But yeah, the pecan is for them. You got the Dawn or the Donna for a lot of them. There's the what's another one of the.
I know the roles. I just don't know the names. Like I know Enforcer and like stuff like that, but not like the actual names they go by.
Yeah. Well, and in the actually in the Sicilian, like in the American branch of Cosa Nostra for their history, they called them the Capo di Capi, was the head of the capos. But we call them, like, I didn't use that one, I just used Dawn because we know that. But Capo di Capi is what they would call them in the American history for the Cosa Nostra. But yeah, usually it's just like the boss or whatever. But I have to look up that title I was thinking. Because like in Cora Riley's series, there's the family and the outfit, is what they call it. Here it was. Okay. The Camorra is in the Naples region. That's what I was looking for, is where it was located. And then where's the other title? Oh, Camorra is also known as the System. That's what they're like. They like call themselves.
I've definitely heard that in other Mafia and probably just not put it together.
Yeah. So I just love learning all that stuff. So, and then Camorra is also the Spanish term for fighter or brawler or chaotic disorder, which I'm like, that is literally Ramo in a bow. So I was like, oh, this makes so much sense now, because in Cora Riley's series, those factions are all different factions of Italian mafia, but they're like at each other's throats because they're rival families in it. And you have the outfit, the family, and the Camorra. And it makes sense when, like, of course it does. I'm not saying she wouldn't do her research of this, but like, I never picked that up before. I was just like, oh, that's just how we're differentiating them. Well, it's because all their families were from Italy, but they set up in different parts of the US and stuff like that. So anyway, I love nerdy stuff. Okay, let me see what some people were saying, and then let's see. Oh, this is so good. I've only read the first one of the Donnellys by L.K. Shaw. For like the first Mafia readathon, I read one, and I've had books 2 and 3 in my Kindle since then. If I hadn't got rid of the prompt to read the oldest Mafia on your Kindle, like in your ebook or whatever, I believe the next L.K. Shaw would have been the one I had to read. But we didn't do that prompt this year. Author Annika Martin is in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Her most recent is a cozy paranormal murder mystery. Miss Renfield and the inheritance traps, so no more Mafia anytime soon. Oh, you're answering what I was saying about that. Yeah, that's why I've met Annika Martin, because the signings I went to in Iowa, she goes to that one because it's closest. So maybe she's working on them though. We don't know. Hopefully she is. I think this one was kind of a surprise that she wrote it as well. So that's why SG Tillies are set in Minneapolis as well, with a side trip to Fargo. I always bring that up. They fly to Fargo in one of the books to kill someone. Made me feel very happy. Although the depiction of the airport makes me laugh, because you would absolutely notice some Mafia guys walking through that airport. It is tiny if you came through the Fargo airport. Oh, probably use private plane. So, Jess, which was your favorite read? Even though you read all the same ones. Which book was your favorite?
I was going to say, it's definitely this series, and I feel so messed up saying it was the second book in this series, because I definitely told you that was the darkest one, but I think it was the second book in the Beauty and Lies series. Unfortunately, because I committed to this series, I did not make it to Donna, which is okay. I've accepted that.
Yeah. I didn't either.
I got the second one, so I'm not even going to try.
Consigliere. Yep, you're all right. You're all right. Second in command. Yep. I've only know that one because I've heard it spoken so many times at this point. That is not a motion that our tongue makes. Consigliere.
Not at all. I was like, I don't even think this is dyslexia. I just don't think I can say this word.
It is not. You're everyone else is in the same boat with that one.
Okay. Cool.
But I heard it spoken so many times that I have it. I don't look at the word when I say it.
I feel like if I didn't look at the word, I might be able to pronounce it, but looking at it, I want to say, like, I don't even know what I want to say.
I know. It's one of those where, like, yes, I'm definitely American who speaks English, because that is not...
That G is in a really odd place.
Yeah, that's not how we pronounce that one. But I also really like that word. Otherwise, I would literally put, like, right-hand man, but I just love the consigliere title.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I ended up with 36 points, which is fine.
Nice. Yeah, I'm still unsure. I will finish this Lilith Vincent when we get off. I only have, I'll tell you about this one in a second. I only have like 60 pages left of it. So I will finish it after sprints and get that one in, which that one's going to fit. Let me look at my little cute board, by the way, which I loved my adorable little board that I made. I was using stickers to cross off my bingo board because I had printed it.
That's awesome.
On stickers. So, and then I have these, you can't see them because they're see-through, but they're these little skull stickers that I was crossing off the things for. So this one will cover rival families, arranged marriage, and Italian mafia. Dang it, literally in the 3 spots that don't give me another bingo. Poo on that. And I don't know if anybody has wrecked the books that I read. I don't think so. So I think I might be stuck because it doesn't do any more of those ones. So I'm going to get 3 more points, which I think will put me at 35, I think. What am I up to? So I don't think I'm going to make it either, but that's all right. I like I said, I didn't want to cheat anybody, so I played it true as well. Not going to be a cheater at my own readathon and be like, actually, nobody saw the points. I could lower the points. No, didn't do that.
What Lilith Vincent are you reading?
Yes, so I'm reading, she just started a series in April. So there's 2 books out so far. She just announced the 3rd one. So this one's called Cruel Savior. And for some reason, when I read the blurb of this, I thought that it was like a huge age gap book, because she usually writes those. But this one is just, it's an arranged marriage between the families, but the heroine's dad, actually, it's a trap, and he red weddings everyone.
Oh, God.
But her fiance, but the supposed fiance was late because he was finishing a job. And so he arrives and his whole family is dead. And so he thinks that she's a part of it, but she ends up, this is the blurb, by the way, everyone, I promise I'm not spoiling everything because I know I'm bad at that, but I'm not, it's the blurb. We don't even really see all of that stuff. But she runs away because she can't believe her dad did this. She was actually kind of looking forward to it because her father's abusive and she was hopeful that maybe this new family wouldn't be. And like the mom was really nice to her and was like, oh, I can't wait to have you as a daughter-in-law. And then they all get murdered in front of her.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But then her dad is still chasing down the guy that she's supposed to marry. And they end up bumping into one another. And then he's going to kill her because he's like, well, I need revenge or whatever. And instead, he's like, you know what? I'm going to make her suffer, so I'll marry her instead. But then, yeah, I won't say anymore because then I'd be spoiling it. But that's kind of the setup, is that she ends up still engaged to the guy that her dad just murdered his whole family. Yeah. So it's a really good one. But anyway, let me see what people are saying. Hometown pride. That's right. Fargo doesn't get a shout out in too many places, but Willow Astor has a series set in Minnesota, and S.J. Tilly does. So I get my love here now and then. So I've read 2 so far from the Donnelly series. Oh, good. Oop, good night, Lindsay. Happy Mother's Day to you. Have a good dinner. Okay, which ones did you end up reading? Yes. Okay, so I will end up finishing 4 of these. So I read Let Me Ruin You by LJL writer, which was the fanfic. That was the Shane and Ilya fic where Ilya's from the Bratva. Then I read Death by Michelle Hurd. And then I read The Kingpin's Call Girl by Annika Martin. And I will finish Cruel Savior by Lilith Vincent. So I will have read 4 of the 6. But I was telling everyone I only ever planned to try for 5. I just had a bonus option because the Jagger Cole on my list was an romance that I might have read, but I read the fanfic instead. And I think that was a good choice because the Jagger Cole was another 200 pages longer and it didn't have an audiobook. So I wouldn't have made it through it. But I had said at the beginning, my favorite was Helen's Pick, which I know I just said that again. We talked about that already. Okay. Couldn't remember when I said
it. It's Tesoro was also a really good one. I'm happy I read that.
Yes. Yeah. And you should definitely continue with that one too.
Did you read, only because I already have a copy, Brutal Conquest by Lilith Vincent?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yep. It's not my favorite, but you will like it.
Then okay.
And you read her Labyrinth one though, right?
Yeah, it's like one of my favorites.
Yeah. I thought so. Did you read the next one as well?
No, there's no audiobook for the next one.
Okay. She'll do it. She does her own audios though, so they take some time. And that one, well, it should come soon because that one came out back in October. I remember it because I read it at my parents' anniversary weekend, and that was in October. So
yeah, no, that one looks good. And I was going to download that one, but I was like, oh damn, no audiobook. But then I realized Mystic Box did the Labyrinth one and then Brutal Conquest, and there is an audio for that. And I was like, ooh, maybe I'll download that.
Yeah.
For next month.
See, in that one, oh God. Did she put out 3 in that series or just 2?
There's 3.
Okay, because now I have to look at those. Because one of those I liked a lot, and one of them was just like I didn't like love it, but it was like what the fuck, like that kind of book. Because, well, I can't even say. I will not even speak why I felt that way about it. Let me look.
I think this is a book 2 in a series, but it says it can be read as a standalone. Yeah.
Yes, because I was like, Brutal Intentions might be the one I'm thinking about then. Let me look at what Brutal Conquest is about. Yeah. says that I read this. Why didn't I put a rating? I didn't rate it. So I don't remember. Why didn't I? Shoot. Yeah, I don't remember what I thought. I didn't put a rating for it.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Brutal Conquest, I gave 4 stars, and I literally my review was wild. Literally, that's what I wrote. I was like, whoa. Because I remember that one. Brutal Husband is book 3. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Brutal Husband is nuts. Okay. That one is nuts. But I don't know if there's an audio for that one yet.
I think there is. I think there's an audio for that whole series. So maybe I'll just I'm trying to do at least one Mafia series a month or book a month. So maybe I'll do that.
Okay. Next. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to hear what you think, because some people were pretty like cruel to it because of it, but it's because of the twist. So it's that thing where like you either like it or you don't, and like I was completely blindsided by it, so I loved it. And I was like,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening? And then Brutal Conquest. I don't remember though, but because the first one in that series is the like stepdad one.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was like her mother is in like an arranged marriage with a guy who's much younger than the mom, but much older than her.
Oh my God, I read this.
Yeah. Okay.
I read the first one.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Because this one is an uncle one. The Brutal Conquest is a like adopted uncle or like step uncle.
Okay, Brutal Intentions I gave 4.5 stars, so I was really into it, apparently, what I read.
I was gonna say, so because that's the one I was thinking about until I looked and saw that there was 3. I thought there was only 2 in that series. Yeah. And I was like, I wasn't 100% on that one, but I was like, I bet Jess would love that. And sure enough,
I really liked it.
You did. What did I rate that one?
As soon as you started talking, I was like, God, that sounds familiar. And then I just looked and I 100% did read it.
Yes. Yeah. Because I read an arc of this one. I gave it 3.5 stars rounded up to Brutal Intentions. Because I was like, holy crap. I thought it was going to be 5 stars. And then it got too confusing. And I was like, why are we making this confusing? Man, I read that all the way back in 2022. That is nuts. It doesn't feel that long ago that I should have done that. But anywho, so but yeah, the Labyrinth one is still, I recommend that one like all the time. I love that one so much. Okay, let's see what else here. I read 10 books, and all were audio except for 3. Been stuck in bed due to lower back pain. Oh, I'm sorry. My sympathies. Oh my gosh. Nope. Migraines and back pain, you have my everlasting sympathy. You have my sympathy for any chronic pain or issue you ever have for anyone, but specifically those 2 things I can actually empathize with, and they're awful. Yes. So well, I think we'll go ahead and close this out. There's still, like I said, go till midnight in your time or finish the book you're reading. I was telling everyone, like, it's arbitrary. No one's looking at over your shoulder. Just finish what you got. Tally up your points. And thanks everyone for participating. This was so much fun. I love doing this. And hopefully
thank you for putting this all together. It's great every year.
Yeah, well, thanks for surviving.
Yes, curse is broken on my end. Unfortunately, not the same for other people, but I survived.
No, we had power outages and illnesses and tooth cracking and like what an adventure. But it could be worse. So thank you, everyone. You're wonderful. Have a great night, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.